AITA for not paying for the meal? On a road trip last week, my girlfriend and I stopped at a rural diner for brunch. We sat down and a waitress opened our menus before she put them on the table. That detail is important later. It was a very nice meal, honestly. Our total was around $25. I was ready to pay with my debit card. The waitress then told us that this was a cash-only establishment. Unfortunately, I had zero cash on me. How were we supposed to know? I asked. She shows us some tiny text on the front of the menu. Because of the way she'd put our menus down and taken them away, we had not seen the front. There was literally no indication of their cash-only business other than that. She sighs and points to an ATM on the other side of the dining room. At this point I'm still apologetic, so I went there with my card. I noticed it had a fee of, I shit you not, $9. I asked to speak to the manager. She brought the owner. I told the owner this is ridiculous. I suggested he let me go get cash from somewhere legit. Or take $9 off the bill if he really wanted me to use that ATM. Nope. He threatened to call the police. I said go ahead. My girlfriend felt the same way. Long story short, the cops agreed with me. And we left without paying anything. I told my sister about this today. She thinks the cops were wrong and I was being an asshole. Because you wasted everyone's time over $9 fucking. I think the owner is the asshole. The only part one regret was not being able to tip the waitress. AITA? NTA man. A $9 ATM fee is extortionate. The owner had it coming. Yeah, it was around 36% of the bill amount. It sounds like they were scamming people. NTA $9 is obviously ludicrous. NTA. Scummy restaurant. Had it coming. NTA. That place is getting rich off tourists' $9 fees. They obviously need to make it much clearer that they only take cash. Like, before you even come in. Better yet, start taking cards. It's 2019. Definitely NTA. Better yet, start taking cards. They are clearly setting this policy to both 1. Run a scam using the ATM to pocket those fees. 2. Avoid taxes by making the bill cash only. NTA. Sounds like a well-planned scam on their part. Exactly what I was thinking. Edit and don't feel bad for the waitress. She's in on this, that's why she placed the menu in a way you couldn't see the print. If she cared she would have pointed it out, not hidden it. NTA. They are crooked as the day is long. So less crooked in the winter. NTA. And the cops agreed. Also good for you for not backing down. So much passive aggressive bullshit on this sub. Nice to see someone standing up for themselves. Sounds like the cops are used to it and are probably tired of dealing with it. NTA. Seems like an obvious scam from the way the waitress opened the menus. It not being printed anywhere else. And the way he acted. Based on the waitress acted, I bet this happens a lot and she was fully prepared for what happened. I also bet money that the owner instructed her to place the menus that way for all customers. Shitty. Definite scam. If they can afford to have an ATM installed on premises, they can afford to have a card machine. NTA. You would paid if they didn't want an extra $9. And obviously the cops were happy to let you leave. NTA. Holy jeez, do they have a scam going? NTA. That is insane, and if the cops agreed with you, you're fine. Honestly, it really pisses me off when places are cash only. It's fucking 2019. But if you're going to do that, you need to have a free ATM. And you can't be dicks about it. If you're living in the Stone Age, guess what? Survival of the fittest. No one in their right mind is going to pay a $9 ATM fee when it was absolutely not made clear that they were expected to have cash. Sadly, it might be a kind of place that preys on tourists. NTA. That ATM fee sounds like almost extortion. And honestly, anywhere in 2019 that doesn't take cards ought to have your server explicitly tell you that and ask you if that's alright before taking an order. NTA. Whether it was over a $9 fee or a $90 fee, the principle of the matter is that if you're going to charge your customer $25, you should 1. Make sure that cash only font much larger. 2. Not have one ATM that has a fee of literally 36% the cost of your bill. I've been to a few cash only spots, but they were super upfront about it. After greetings, the servers always say FYI, we are cash only. Any place that's cash only and doesn't tell until after the fact is an ass. NTA. They're clearly running a scam. NTA. I work in a tourist industry with ATMs everywhere. The nearest bank is a 15-minute drive into town. The most I have ever seen them raise to is $5. Just wanted to suggest you put a review on Google to warn other tourists beforehand. Google and Yelp and any other website where it's possible to put a review. IMO. NTA. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes. NTA. The $9 fee is bullshit, but also in a cash-only establishment, the wait staff needs to make that clear. It's not enough to just have it written down somewhere. That shit is easy to miss. So they need to say it to the customers before they order anything. But then the scam wouldn't work. NTA. This is a scam. The cops agreed it was bullshit and don't feel bad for the waitress she was in on it. That's why she opened the menu how she did. NTA. $9 ATM fee. $9 says he owns the ATM and makes a profit off it by doing this intentionally. And you were willing to pay. The fact he wouldn't let one of you leave and the other stay for a few minutes to do so is fishy too. Good on you for calling their bluff. My guess is the cops have been called more than once and are sick of this owner's shit too. It's such an insane amount. Even Disney World charges less than half of that on their ATMs. And that place practically charges you for breathing. NTA. Tell your sister to pay it and you'll send it to the restaurant. Since it's no big deal. Oh look, she doesn't want to pay that either. The restaurant is running a scam. $9 surcharge on a $24 meal? Usually. The private ATM company probably has a deal with them. Don't feel bad about not tipping the waitress. Sounds like she was in on it. NTA. NTA, my friend. I've seen similar scams like this in smaller towns around. I travel for a living. Usually the ATM is some jank off-brand pose because it's for a local bank. And the business is typically the only type/service you need close to the main road. So I always assume the bank is in cahoots. Pro tip, as I deal with this a lot. Keeping cash is hard if it's on you. Grab a chapstick tube. Use it or waste it. Who cares? And when it's empty and clean, put $100 and 20s in there. And keep it in your car, glove box or center console. You'll now always have cash. It's in a usable amount. And it's discreet enough that if someone breaks into your car, they aren't likely to nick a chapstick tube. Hope this helps. This guy travels. NTA. No one hands you opened menus. They are running an obvious scam. And losing the occasional price of a meal is the cost of doing business for them. I'm sure they will make it up with some more victims in future. As for your sister, does she often try to justify a status quo, no matter how bad it is? Because that's what it sounds like she's doing here. Some upscale restaurants open the menu and place it in front of you. But they are the type of menus that are in a leather jacket. No words on the front. Something I didn't see mentioned, although admittedly I did not read 100% of comments, is regarding your desire to tip your server. I worked in service industry for forever. And we really appreciate people like you that can separate bad service from bad business. However, in this case, don't feel bad in the slightest about not tipping. Her putting the menus down open and removing them from the table without you seeing the front is her being complicit in this scam. That is a strange thing to do when seating someone. So I would strongly suspect she had to have been told to do that. I think it is safe to say she knew what was going on. Seriously. I've never been to a diner where they don't just chuck the menu at me. It's a scam. I once went to a restaurant that charged for tap water. Apparently it was printed in tiny font on the front of the menu. Waitress did the same thing. We ordered the water midway through the meal, so didn't have the menu in front of us. And the waitress didn't tell us at the time. When paying, I had to go to the front counter and the guy just read the final amount off his screen. He only reluctantly offered to print the receipt after I already paid, and my partner got suspicious. He charged us $6 for tap water. I don't know where you live, but in the US, or at the very least, in my state, it's literally illegal for an eating establishment to charge for water if you make another purchase. When I used to work in a mall, Dunkin' Donuts would even give you free water without a purchase, as long as you paid like $0.20 for the plastic cup. NTA, they knew what they were doing. The cop said NTA too. The waitress lost her tip when she became part of the scam and hid the no cards info from you. NTA. But there must be some backstory to this. The police should have instructed you to go to a local bank/ATM that doesn't have unreasonable fees. Then return and pay the bill. Or the owner should have given you a bill with his bank information so that you could pay the bill when you got home. Since the police let you go without paying, there have probably been previous complaints about the business practices. The guy probably knows that he'll lose if he tries to go to court. So he just profits from the majority of the customers who accept the $9 charge if they don't have cash in their pocket. NTA. I have been in places in my life where $9 was a make or break amount. Imagine someone in similar circumstances who budgeted for a nice meal with their so being screwed like that. You stood up FO for everyone. Good job. Dude isn't reporting all that cash to the eyes, and we all know it. I bet half, if not more, of small restaurants and small businesses cheat on taxes. NTA. Your sister is the type of person who complains that it's only $9, but if she was there she wouldn't pay it. I wouldn't feel bad for the waitress either. I guarantee she's in on it. I'm sure she's used to this happening daily too. So many clients buy now that if she cared at all she would say BTW, we only accept cash to new clients. The whole thing is a scam. The owner not only wants to save on credit card processing fees, but wants to profit. Where I live, if a store doesn't accept debit or credit, usually only new stores that have gotten the equipment yet, they usually put a big ol' sign on the front door or let people know before ordering or shopping. That $9 fee is a goddamn scam, lol. If you enjoyed this video then hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more future videos.